Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow option traders. This is Jeff with your scan for Friday, November 9th, 2012. To be politically correct, or PC as they say these days, I didn't mean to say that option traders are not ladies and gentlemen. It's just the way that I started out this morning, I guess. But regardless, as Thomas Paine said back in 1776, these are the times that try men's souls. And I don't mean just men either, to be politically correct again. I mean everybody. And it looks like worldwide it's getting kind of crazy out there. Just kind of hunkering down in front of my laptop here, trying to make some sense of it from a trading perspective. But I can't. Just go with the flow. You can see that just from my equities here, I still have this calendar on the Qs that if you've seen any of the past videos, this is my insurance plan. It's up 177 and it looks like it's going to go up a little bit more today. And the reason why it might do that, go to the Analyze tab and click on this and take a look at the risk profile. You can see that as the market declines, if it should get down to 60 by next week, which is a possibility, this will pay off very nicely. I don't think that we're getting the volatility pop that I was expecting as it was dropping, because the VIX has been acting very strangely. And we'll take a look at that in a second, but it's been acting pretty strange. So I am no longer in Chipotle. Chipotle took a huge digger yesterday, and I got out while it was still heading down. And it wasn't all that bad. I took a loss. If I would have stayed in, I might have made some money, or at least broke even on it. But I got out when I saw it start to move down in the morning, and I just put a limit order and said I'm willing to accept this loss. We can take a look at what that is here. Got out yesterday on the 8th for a $160 loss, which isn't all that bad. I'm still ahead for the month. I got this Google that I cashed out on yesterday also, like I mentioned on the video. And I'm still in the Amazon trade. So, we'll take a look at Amazon. Current open positions. We're looking pretty good on that. It's dropped below our short strike, and it will expire today. I take a look at the risk profile on that. We're almost at max on that. 186. We're looking for 250. Well, let me include commissions in here. It didn't really make that much of a difference. 251. So we're looking forward to cashing out on that one. So let's see what else we can take a look at here. I mentioned the VIX before. Now, yesterday was a down day, and you would expect that the VIX would at least open up here at around 19 and move up a little bit. But it didn't. It opened down and actually moved down and moved way down during the day. Of course, it was looking pretty good at the open yesterday. It looked like as though we might stay flat or at least go up. Unemployment was really inconclusive yesterday because a lot of the East Coast states data was either missing or suspect or partial. So the report yesterday was unreliable. And I guess the market sort of thought that it was unreliable too. And then we'll look at the E-mini. yes, these are times that definitely try men's souls. So we were looking here at a, let me zoom out a little bit here. It busted, just went tearing right through this previous high, which was resistance before. So now we're looking at probably 1280, 1284 level for the next major support or resistance. We'll see if it powers through this 50 moving average on the weekly. It's already done it on the daily. It's gone through the 100 and it's gone through the 200. So it's like, remember the saying, stocks go up like an escalator and down like an elevator, or like a suicide jump off the top of a very tall building. All right, gold, safety in a bad market. Yeah, looks like people are thinking that it's a safe play in a market that's unreliable. Hope everybody's got a little bit of gold in their back pocket. Oil still down. Of course, if the economy stinks, oil's probably not going to go anywhere because there's not all that much demand, and there's not a lot of there's demand on the East Coast, but they can't deliver. And my heart goes out to people that live out there. It's miserable. I have a friend out there that I email occasionally. He's busy right now. He lives in Mattawa, I think it's pronounced, New Jersey, which is probably about 20 or so miles from the coast. And his biggest problem is he's got power, but his biggest problem is finding fuel. And the euro is I'm not doing, it's not telling anything. You know, it's just as bad in Europe as it is here, I guess you could say. So we're looking to see here, if you wanted to buy something with euros, you would need, for every dollar US, you would need $1.27 in euros. So it started out parity when the euro first launched with the dollar, and now the euro is actually worth more than the dollar, which is, you know, there's goods and bads about that. All right, that's enough about that stuff. We're already 8 minutes into this. Let's go to our A+ list. Apple. Man, Apple. Yeah. I've like never seen anything like this from these guys before. We have support at 528. We're sitting at 537. It lost $20, around $20 yesterday. So it could go rip-roaring through that. Where's the next level of support? Wow. Major is, we're looking at 420, or here's resistance and support. Resistance here, support here, down at 354. Is this chasing it? Well, I would probably chase this, but I'm doing some other tests with Apple, and I don't want any other trades to interfere with the data that I'm collecting on that. We looked at Amazon. We busted through our short strike at 230, and that's expiring today. Is there another chance to re-enter? Could re-enter today. This is a good enough point to say, if we move below this close here, and the close, you see the data up here, the close, when you stop the cursor over the top of that candle, was 227. So if we go below that today, I just may get in with a credit spread for expiration next Friday, which would be in the normal monthly expiration. Another thing that looks attractive here is the MACD is moving back down, so the momentum is to the downside, and the MACD average also is shifted to the downside. So we have a lot of data backing up that type of a play. Let's see how we look on the weekly. There's really no confirmation here except that %K hooked down. So this must be a new feature that they put where this price shows up here. It's kind of drives me nuts a little bit, but anyway, there could be an entry on that today, and I'm going to write that down. Amazon for 11.9 because it's already on my list. Okay. Now, Baidu. What do we got going on here with Baidu? We have a hook down after %K is hooking down. So let's see if %D hooks down, and I would like to see a red bar like this color, red bar, indicating that it's lower than the previous bar. I would like to see that. Got some nice confirmation on the weekly. I think this is going on my list for today. All right. Fertilizer. This would be a chase. I had excellent earnings. I don't understand this. Chipotle. Yeah, we know what happened there. Actually, here's another, we should re-enter this. We are going to, if we move below the low here, we're going to re-enter this. So I'm going to make a note of that too, because that's already on my list. Salesforce. I should have gotten in. I didn't get in. I don't think it's too late for this because we have a moving average that this kind of a hook down here. We have red on the average and red on the bar down here for our MACD. Wow. There's a lot for today. CRM. Let me put it on the list because I don't think it's there. Skip gold. Google. Google's already down. We don't want to, this would be a chase in my mind. It's already down here. If we're going to be, if we're starting a new trend up here, we're gonna want the stochastic to come back up here at least above 45, preferably 55, and ideally 80. MasterCard. Still in an uptrend, believe it or not. Everything is kind of looking up for except for these indicators down here, stochastic and MACD. The 15 MA just tipped down. This would be a very early entry. And here's what I might do on this particular play. All right, are you ready for this? This video is taking a little bit longer, but here's what I might do. I might go with a something, no, not that one. Something with a delta of around 20 on a bear call side. So we're looking for a delta here of 475. That is a possibility. So if we go in here and we say sell a vertical, that'll give you 76 cents with sort of a high risk, but a high probability at the same time. So here's your one deviation, one standard deviation here. So the probability of it expiring in the money is about 80%. Take this number that's left over here and subtract that from 100 because we moved this price slice here to the break even basically. Well, that's not break even, that's a short strike. If we go to break even, we're talking about a pretty good 80%. That's usually what a delta 20 means. An 80% chance of it expiring out of the money, I guess you might say. So let's reset the slices. That's where we're at. So this would be a good play. And for you folks that don't have a chance to get orders in because you're working for whatever reason, you can always do an order that is conditional on the price of the underlying. And I think I did a video in the past about that, at least for Thinkorswim, and a lot of platforms allow you to do that. So if you were to put, if you said I want to go ahead and buy this at the market price or sell this at the market price, or actually if it moves below, you may want to go down one more strike. You may want to go down to the 470 strike. And then just, it's only a week. That's all you have to wait is a week. So if we were to go back here and say we wanted to go down to this 470 short strike, I'll uncheck that one. Oops. I do that a lot. And we can take a look at this and say, well, we have like a 72% probability that this thing is going to expire out of the money. That's still a pretty good play. So that's probably the one I think that I'm going to leave locked and loaded for myself. That's $1.19, and including commissions here, so that's $116, and I'm risking 383 with a almost 72% probability that it's going to be successful, which is better odds than going to a casino or betting on a horse or a dog. Yeah, I think I'm kind of liking that. All right, price line. We have some momentum to the downside here, so there's entirely possible that this may be wanting to close that gap and look at after the market yesterday. So we're looking, if it opens there, we're looking at a huge gap down to 615. See, this is a very gappy stock. I still don't understand why it's so expensive, but it's pretty gappy. And you can usually, because it's so volatile, you can usually get some pretty wide, or you can get very far out of the money with your spreads. And let's just take a quick look at that. Like for next week, if we were looking at around a delta 20, we could go all the way up to 645, and that is up here. So that would be a pretty good play, especially if it opens at 616. Of course, these numbers are not going to be good. If it opens at 616, they're going to change. You may end up dropping one strike here, but that's okay. That definitely has possibilities for today too. So you can also go over here and right click and say add to watch list and play. It's going to be a busy day watching all these. What I'm going to do is say, here's what you could do. I think I did this once before, is go ahead and put an alert here at this, say at 625 or so. We know that the alert's going to go off, so you probably will want to go in. But you could put alert in and then say, okay, now I need to take a look at it and I need to make a decision. Panera, last one. I'm almost done. I know it's 20 minutes. I'm sorry, everybody. Um, I have an alert here at 171. I was looking for a pop to the upside, even though this 50 moving average continues to move up and the stock's just not doing anything. That's crazy. Um, I just don't really know what to do with this. I mean, there are plays that I can do, but we're just talking about credit spreads, so um, that's what we're going to stick to. We have plenty of candidates for today. All right, everybody. Thanks for taking the almost 22 minutes to watch this. Have a good day and happy trading.